Hey guys, this is Paul from Les Mouse Guitars and welcome back to my shop. So today I want to introduce a new machine to my shop, and it's this thing right here. This is a Grizzly Fingerboard radius and sander. The model number on this edge sander is a G0574, and you can buy this with this whole assembly back here all at one time as a kit. They do sell this kit separately, and I guess if you already had some type of edge sander, you could probably get this kit and modify it to fit your edge sander, possibly. I'm not sure if it'll work on everything, but I decided to buy it all together. It was on sale, it was worth the money. I've been wanting one for a while, so I finally took the plunge and got it. Now, if you've seen my other videos, when I radius fingerboards, you notice that I used a sled and the router. The fingerboard, should say the neck, would sit in the base, and the sled would slide along the length of the fingerboard, and the router would be in like a carriage on top, and it would go in this direction. So I'd cock it a little bit, and I'd go down, turn it a little bit, come back, cock a little bit, go down like that, and it worked great. It put a nice radius and a nice flat surface on it, the whole length of that fingerboard. It took a while to design it, and the reason why I used something like that was because I just didn't want to spend the money on something like this. So some plywood, I already had a router, plywood screws. I came up with the idea, and I saw someone else make one like that, similar to it, and all I did was I re-engineered it to make it work for me, and it done me a lot of justice over the years. I've had it for a few years, but now I've got this thing. The problem I had with the other sled, and there's a picture I'll put up here of it, what it looks like if you haven't seen my videos. The problem with that sled was I had to learn to go slow because I always inlaid before I radiused. And I've chipped inlays out. Mother pearl chips pretty easy. And I've chipped some lumber. So what I've done to alleviate that was, one, slow down, and two, I would make my fingerboards a 1/16 of an inch thicker. So my final thickness on the fingerboard is a 1/4 of an inch. So I always make my fingerboards at 5/16. And I would inlay a little deeper into the wood, the fingerboard, so that when I did radius it, it's going to do two things. It's going to radius it, plus it was going to thickness it down to a 1/4 inch, right down the middle to where it's measured. So that stopped the chipping, at least eliminated it pretty much for the most part, and it worked out great. So I still make the fingerboards thicker, because what I'm doing with this thing is I'm radiusing it out, not quite all the way down to the final thickness, just a hair above a 1/4 inch. And then I'll go ahead and install the inlays. And I route this one in here. It's a little wider path, so it sticks up more on these. And then I put it back in this machine after I install it, put it back in this machine, and I finish radiusing it, and it just makes everything nice and smooth. Just fits in nice. So let me explain this machine a little bit to you. Like I said, it's this edge sander that Grizzly sells, and this apparatus back here. Now, all this back here really was a bear to put together, as well as setting up the tracking and everything for this belt. It was tough. Stick with it, you'll get it done if you ever get one of these. I had to do some remanufacturing of a piece down here because it just didn't line up right, and a lot of this didn't. I had to shim some stuff down here. I had to shim a lot of stuff up here because it was very loose. I don't know if that's intentional with Grizzly, and if I'm dogging you, Grizzly, I'm sorry, but this is just the experience I had with it. But I will say it's a great tool. Once you get it set, it's a great tool. So I set all that up. I get it all squared up and straight and all that kind of stuff. Shimmed up. I even shimmed up these pieces. I think they were meant, these green pieces here, I think they were meant to swivel, because you tighten them up and they still swivel. I shimmed them. I wanted them rock solid. I didn't want no swivel going on in that thing. So I got all that straight and everything. This swing arm, I figured out the radius I need. I do 12s and 10s. The 10s I still need to drill the holes on both sides, but the 12s just made it as far as the slot goes, and I was able to line the 12s up. And that's because my necks are different. What I do with my necks is different from everybody else. I think a lot of guys that make these little contraptions and do things like this, they're usually making a fender type of neck, and they kind of standardize. My stuff's not standardized. I do way different stuff with my necks. So I've got that all straight. I added the piece down here, and this piece is added for my thinner necks. So my thicker necks, which are single, just a one-piece necks, they can get stuck right to this metal bar, and they'll radius, and the 12-inch radius is perfect from there to there. But for these thinner necks, I have to put this piece in here. This is a piece of MDF. It's bolted to it. This came with, I think there were 1020 or 1024 threaded holes, and I found some screws that work for it, and I bolted that to it. So now I can stick the thinner necks to here, and it's going to make a perfect radius at 12 or 10, depending on where I got this set at. And one issue I have with this machine, with the way it's set up, is, like I was saying, a lot of people like to do a fender style neck, just a straight neck. I have a headstock angle, so I've got to mount it way down the end here. I can't put it over here. If it was a straight neck, I could put it all the way down here. Since it's down here, it hits this door right here. So I'm going to have to modify a piece, cut that piece off of that dust collection door. No big deal. But I've used this thing, and I've used it on this neck as well. Actually, this is the particular neck I used for this video, and it works great. So, things I like to do to modify this. Maybe do something different with these. Instead of shimming it, maybe do something there to make it a little more solid in here. Definitely thinking about making a new swing arm. I've seen some guys do some, and they're really great. They had some great ideas where each individual hole was in there for each radius. I'd like to do something like that, so we replace all these three arms in this piece right here. And as far as double stick taping them, I'm fine with that. And then these pieces here, these adjusted up and down like this, kind of level out. But you got to put an Allen's head screw in here. Allen head into the screw inside there, loosen it up, turn these knobs to raise or lower it, and tighten it back up. When I left them loose, I can see these things spinning a little bit because of the vibration of the machine. So I like to put little thumb screws here, and that would just move the thumb screws, lower these, tighten the thumb screws instead of reaching for an Allen wrench. I'd change that. Other than that, it's looking pretty good. It works pretty good. Now I got it cocked on an angle. I've seen the guys put them on an angle. The reason why they do that is so that they're not wearing the belt out down the middle. They're kind of wearing the whole belt out at once. You know, I mean, it's going to save the life of it that way. But so it's on an angle, and it covers the whole path of the sanding belt. Okay, so I've already done some footage on this. I've already radiused this. The reason why I'm doing this intro, actually I'm doing this intro again, is because I messed up the other footage. That's typically me. So with that said, I'm going to show you some more video of this neck being radiused. I'm going to radius it a little bit, then I'm going to inlay it, then I'm going to radius it some more, and you'll see the final finish. Well, this is the final finish right here. So, and then after that, I'll come back with outro to the video. Alright, so it's just going to get stuck on with double stick tape. And I was a little concerned about it at one time, but it holds really strong. I don't even think I'm going to put tape all the way down. I'm going to just put it in sections just so I don't waste so much tape. This is really good stuff. I know I talk about it a lot in my videos, but it's strong. Put some on that end. Put some on this end. I don't know, but actually it doesn't go that far down. Down to right here. And a little piece in the middle should be all right. Call that good. I've got a center line on this thing, and there's a center line on the back side of the neck as well, so I can line things up nice and straight. Don't know how specifically important that is, but I'm the kind of guy that shoots for perfection every time anyways, so I want it centered. And of course, you know, it makes sense, right? Center it up. See if I can peel this off here. So this tool speeds things up. It really does. It speeds things up for me. This is a production type of tool here. And I will get it perfected even better than what it is now. That's just the way I am. I always shoot for something better. Okay, get everything lined up there. Set it down on here and put a little pressure on it. You can use some screws. They got, where I got these screws, I could also drill it, whatever. Kind of harder on these necks because I don't have a whole lot of room there. I could probably get about 1/4 inch into the wood. I could work that out. But I think this double stick tape is working really good for me. So for now, until it goofs up on me, I guess I'll keep it the way it is. And it is stuck on there and it's ready to be sanded. So some of you out there may have noticed it's on an angle. It's the apparatus is, the swing arm is this way instead of straight on. And I saw this on some other videos. It would make sense. You don't want it to just sand straight down the middle, because then you're just gonna wear your sandpaper out. So do it so that it does the full length of as much as the sander as I can. Also down here, I don't know if you can see it in the video, but there's a door for the dust collection. It gets in the way. I'm gonna have to cut that piece off, get that out of my way. But this is the way it's gonna go in. I'll do a few adjustments on it as I go along with these little pieces here. Take care of the height of it. And I'll take it down. So I got a 1/16 of an inch to work with till I get down to my final thickness. When I get real close, I'm gonna take this back out and I'm gonna put the dots in it. This is getting plastic. The guy wants plastic dots in this, and he wants a 12 fret inlay, the one of the 12 fret inlays that I do. I'll do those. I won't show you all that, but I'll do those. I'll come back and I'll finish off. Now I got a piece of 80 grit sandpaper in here. I've got a 100 grit sitting right here, ready to go too. This is a new one. I just put it on. The one they gave me with the machine was a piece of crap. Sorry, but it was. It was all beat up, so I got some new ones. So first time with this one, I'm gonna go with this here. All right, let me get some dust collection on real quick. I left it over here in my router. And this doesn't fit perfect. I still gotta perfect this thing. I still gotta get this thing going better. Okay, that was it. For now. So now I'm going to put the dots in. I'm going to come back. I'm going to refine this a little bit. And I'm just almost a perfect 12-inch radius. Just a little bit more to go. So let's do that. Okay, here we go. I've got the inlays in. I do the 12 fret inlay, the custom inlay I do, the thing I designed here. I do that on another way, I should say with a new tool, but we'll show that video on another episode. But I put them all in and I leave them just barely proud or just even just flat. And I'm going to take just a little bit off, and it's going to, especially like the inlay here, it's going to take a little bit off the ends over here. This way it doesn't make it real thin. They stay nice and thick inside the board. So let's go ahead and hook this up and fire the machine up. It's barely kissing here. I'm going to go ahead and bump it down just a little bit. I'm going to loosen these up. Another thing I don't like too much about it is this machine is these little screws. I mean, I tried to leave them loose, but they move. But as long as you got that tool available. I'll do that a couple times till I get it just right. Just 100 grit sandpaper now. You see this in the scene here, but here's my 12-inch radius, and it's perfect all the way down. Alright guys, well that's about the gist of it, and that's the way they're going to be done from here on out. And you know, I'm going to use a big word right here. I had an epiphany about something while I was filming the first section. I talked about how I hit this piece right here on the head start, but I thought, what if I just took this MDF and cut it down right here, eliminate that piece, and bolted it right to there? It would give me enough clearance where the headstock would go under this metal piece. So I won't have to cut that piece off right there. It'll be out of the way. Anyway, things you think of on the fly, right? So that'll work. There's always room for modifications. I'm gonna discover more things as I go along with this thing. And the next time I ever do a video on this, you're probably gonna see something totally different. So anyway, it's a work in progress. So I just figured out that problem right there. Anyway, also, you know, if I could, because I leave this thick right here, I could, and a lot of times I do cut that down anyways, and I can get a lot of that wood out of the way. Man, it's gonna work out better. I can already see it. I can already envision it. So anyway, so this is what you get. You get this nice radius fingerboard, inlays installed, no chipping, no very accurate, I should say, and I love it. It's great. I love this machine already, and it's gonna get better. So anyway, all right. I hope you liked that video. If you did, go ahead and hit the like button, and don't forget to share. And if you're new to my channel, go ahead and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Until the next one, the next new tool, or whatever I come up next, I'll see you then.